So for a change, I thought I might do a quick video about our first harvests in June. And I normally tag this on to the end of my what I'm sowing and growing in July video. But I thought I'd do two little videos just for a change. So I've got my database up with all my first harvests in it, and I'll just talk a bit about what was at the end of May. So the end of May was our onions. We got a really nice crop of tough ball overwintered onions, and then our Oregon sugar pod Mange 2 peas kicked in, and also our sugar snap peas. So they were amazing. A little bit later actually than usual because we had such a cold April. So I also started harvesting the leaves off the oca plants. They are lovely and lemony. Make a really nice addition to a salad, or just eating if you want something fresh. You could add them to a drink or something like that as well. And of course we're just harvesting potatoes all the time. We've been harvesting potatoes since April. And then our outdoor strawberries kicked in. So those are the sweethearts. We've had strawberries for a long time from the polytunnel, but those are the first outdoor ones, and the taste of those is really quite remarkable. Very happy with those. First time growing those, sweetheart. And then just more potatoes. And the only thing of note really on the potatoes is that we've tried to get early baking potatoes, and by that I just mean early main crop potatoes, really nice big size, suitable for baking. Now I know lots of people have commented that you can bake any size of potatoes, you just have multiples, but we like them, that sort of fist size or above. And we got them two ways this year. So we got them in May, early May, grown in the conservatory, and we got them 5th of June, grown in the mini greenhouse. Now the ones in the conservatory are better than the ones in the mini greenhouse, so I think heat is more important than light, and that was what that experiment was trying to determine. So now I know that, I can do a much better job of early baking potatoes next year. So broad beans, of course, everybody's got broad beans, but I was quite pleased that we got our first harvest of celery, and we've had a continuous harvest every week since then, and that was on the 6th of June. And then the first harvest of the summer spinach. So we have spinach every day of the year pretty much, but Mikado is a summer spinach, and we got a nice harvest of that 1st of June. And those plants actually are just now going to seed. But one of the nice things about them is they go to seed fairly slowly by comparison with true spinach, and so you can keep actually harvesting them all the time up until this sort of height. Then they pull them out of the ground. And then our first harvest of our second early kales, basically. And I do like to do an early sowing of kale, which I get much earlier than this. But these are the ones that are sown at sort of traditional date, sometime in March. And so we harvested those 1st of June, all the different kales, so Pentland Brig, Nero Black Magic, and all of that. And obviously this dwarf green curly kale. And then the first harvest of the beetroot. Now this was incredibly late. I don't know really, beetroot seems to be really susceptible to that really cold April. It really knocked it back, even in the polytunnel. Obviously the polytunnel's not heated, so it was freezing every night. And the beetroot didn't like it, so I only got my first harvest on the 6th of June. It was a really nice harvest, but it was still you can't really call it early, can you? But what you can call early are the first beans. So sometimes we get those the end of May. This year we got them the 12th of June, and those were the Cobra. I've also had some Butler runner beans, but to be honest, the Cobra are just so much better. I don't think I'm going to do any beans early apart from Cobra next year, because they're just so superior to the runner beans or the French runner bean crosses. So then first harvest of my New Zealand spinach, 19th of June. Again, that was a bit later than usual, but it's going really well. It's a really strong plant. I've only got one little bed of it, and I'm pleased to have, because with the true spinach all finished now and the summer spinaches going to seed, we've got new successions on the way, but they're not available yet. The only thing we've got right now is the New Zealand spinach, so it's nice to have those 3 different types of spinach: true spinach, New Zealand spinach, and summer spinach, Asian spinaches like Mikado. To have that range of spinaches. Now there are some others you can grow like Malabar and things like that, but they don't really do very well in this climate, so those are really your best options. And then of course the cherries have just kicked in, so that's really fantastic. We have a lot of cherries in our back garden and on the allotment, and the raspberries. So that is it. That, I think, are all the first harvests in June. And obviously we've been harvesting a lot of stuff in May and April, etc., etc. Yeah, so these are the harvests, earlier harvests, and yeah, we've not been short of some amazing food this year. So anyway, I hope you like that quick glimpse at my first harvest in June. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.